sentenced. Tory Lanez innocent? Deep dive on Megan Thee Stallion and who is Kelsey Harris.
Overruled, you may answer.
I'm trying, Your Honor.
You want to do something fun? You want to go to Taco Bell? I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on an all-carb diet. God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Where do I even try to begin with the Megan Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez trial? Or should I say Kelsey Harris? Ooh, yeah, we're going to go there. Look, in order to have a better understanding of all this, she needs to be looked into as well. In my community tab, I had asked y'all how much you knew about this case, and it seemed most knew the end result, which resulted in Tory Lanez, born Daystar Peterson, receiving a 10-year sentence and with 10 months credit already served. It seems mainstream media has a script to go by with this trial. As I saw in my research, similar patterns, misleading, information out of the contents. I had a few people request a closer look and a deep dive of the whole incident. I studied in two different ways, with strictly mainstream and published articles, and wrote a conclusion. Then again, with just the evidence, like body cam footage, audio recordings, legal transcripts, and came to a conclusion there. Boy, was that interesting to see. I did not expect as much change and sway as I did by working this way. I have questions, and I have lots of them. First, Miss Kelsey, girl, you have some explaining to do. The more I found out, the more this character and the whole thing became Miss Sus. Tory, you're not exactly in the clear, in my speculation either. And Meg, oh girl, you got sloppy as fuck. This trial hung up some dirty ass laundry on the outside line for all the world to see and learn about. Sadly, it was all petty high school drama gone out of control. Why wasn't Kylie Jenner interviewed or testified in court as a witness? In mainstream, she was only barely mentioned and only highlighted in reports when it came to sources saying the argument among Meg and Tory began after they left Kylie Jenner's house, where during the, let's call it Modelo shutdowns and restrictions, they held a pool party. From what I've discovered, she may have been part of the whole reason an altercation took place. We will get to all that later. And why was someone who witnessed firsthand everything being questioned about he didn't show up to the court till the very last day of trial? I'm surprised that this trial wasn't televised. I believe Johnny Depp was smart and wise to want more eyes on the trial. Some celebrities who don't play by the elite rules get screwed over, and we have seen this time and time again. I think, in my opinion, all three involved are throwing shade and elbows. This case is so messy, I don't even know how I'm going to pretty much do a timeline for all of you to get all the details clearly. There was way more information than I imagined that was, well, kind of being hidden or left out from like articles, and they definitely needed to be answered and explored. My own thoughts on this case changed, as so did my opinion on all the players involved. And that is how we shall review. Number 1, Kelsey Nicole Harris. As of today, ex-best friend and former assistant to Megan Thee Stallion. Kelsey, who was involved with Jay-Z's Rock Nation and was the connect to Tory Lanez. They had met at an industry event and clicked. They kept in touch till she had to go on some sort of like business trip or something while she was away for a bit, which gave Megan time to get to know Tory better one-on-one, which later we found out turned sexual among the two. Kelsey was not aware of this, apparently. It's not 100% clear if Meg knew Kelsey has been cozy with him prior to the trip. So, are you guys feeling the chaos already? I told you it was messy. So, there's the love triangle of the whole situation, but does it stay that shape? No! It eventually transforms unexpectedly into like a freaking square. Oh, yes. We're getting there. Don't you worry. But before I get to that, let me introduce you to EJ, Megan's stylist, and at the time, friend. He was also close and familiar with Kelsey, because usually all three were like together hanging out. In fact, they were at a photo shoot and met by chance Kylie Jenner. This is where the invite came from. Now, I remind you, this was back in 2020 and the height of the protests and riots. And this regards, famous people. According to EJ's testimony and recollection of the night, he had provided some needed details of the events. He stated that Kelsey had become sloshed and passed out after games of beer pong and hard liquor. I have to laugh as I saw another YouTube personality joking, saying they could picture her just sleeping in like a pool floaty and just like out. Anyways, EJ carried her to the guest room of Kylie Jenner's house and put her comfortably in bed like a sweet grandma or fairy godmother. He then said how Kylie Jenner had been asking and nagging Megan about Tory Lanez. At this time, it had been reported that her and Travis Scott called it quits and were not together. So I guess Kylie Jenner was a little hungry. Megan probably was down with that idea as she was drunk and she most likely wanted to see him too. Perfect, right? No. Next thing you know, arrives Mr. Lanez. Kelsey wakes up. Everybody's having a good time. Then all of a sudden, Kylie, Tory, and Megan are in the pool together. Sloppy and trashed. EJ saw that Megan physically was wasted and it wasn't pretty. He then heard Megan say to Kylie something in regards to like, oh, you're a vibe. I thought you were lame. Snooty, passive-aggressive remarks were starting to slip out, and EJ knew it was time to go before shit got really bad. He even told her, your hair looks like shit, and it's not fixable, honey. We gotta go. It has been said by many that Meg is known to get really aggressive when she's drinking. At this point, EJ had enough and went inside to pack up their luggage. When asked if there was a GUN in there, he said no, not that he was aware of. And he was literally just throwing shit and, right on top of each other fast, carelessly to get out of there sooner than later. Next thing you knew, Megan must have became mouthy. And according to EJ, didn't want to leave because she wanted to stay and hang out with Tory. Megan must have made it seem like Tory was going to take them home because next thing you knew...
5 minutes later.
EJ took the luggage back out from his car and put it into Tory Lanez's driver's car, stating he put it in the trunk. He followed behind for a bit of the SUV they were all in. And all of a sudden, Megan is saying they need to go back for her Louis Vuitton slippers. Mind you, Tory was still there.
No, God, please, no!
Did she, though?
No! No!
Was it really for the slippers?
No!
Or did she just want to go back and pretty much cock block that boy? Tell me what you think down in the comments. They returned back to Kylie's, and it was said that there was bodyguards all of a sudden all over the place. Some shit went down, and Megan was then yelling. Kylie said, "We got to get the fuck out of here. We got to go." This time, Tory, who still wanted to stay, was annoyed and knew shit was going to blow up if he didn't just leave. So this is where all hell starts to break loose. An argument broke out, and this is where...
Sorry, bro.
It is highly speculated that shit came out out of jealousy. It slips that Megan and Tory were having sex, and well, he was also having sex with Kelsey. At some point, Megan insults Tory's artistry and talent, saying how he is not doing so big in the States and only has a remix feature with Jack Harlow. Which, why is she hating and throwing shit on that? Because that remix is fucking good. I'll admit, Tory's part is pretty good too. According to Megan's recollection of the night into early morning hours, she says she got out of the vehicle and started to walk away barefoot in just her bikini, pretty much naked. That was when allegedly Tory reached over in the vehicle and said, "Dance, bitch, dance," and shots were fired. During this mess, Kelsey, Tory, Megan, and the personal driver were outside the vehicle. Megan crawled over to a nearby driveway where she curled up, and Tory had gone to her and somehow calmed her down and told her to get back into the car, and they took off. There were witnesses who called the police due to the sound of shots and loud altercation outside. One witness provided a brief and well enough description of the SUV, and police Hollywood Hills unit tracked them down, pulling them over by loudspeaker, helicopters, and GUNs drawn and aimed at them. Again, remember, this is being around the time of the height of the protest, riots, and George Floyd. Megan said she was scared to tell the cops she was shot and said she was bleeding from broken glass. Due to her injury, they took Megan in ambulance to the hospital. I forget which hospital it was. So she could be evaluated and cleaned up. Meanwhile, Tory and Kelsey were brought to the police station and were photographed. So was the driver. I laugh because his picture looks like he's trying to be such a tough guy in his stance. This resulted from when they searched the vehicle and found the GUN and saw the bloody towels, seats, and consoles. In evidence, police photographs, the gold luggage bag was in the back seat center, touching the front center console. How did it get there? From the trunk. Was the GUN in it? If so, who pulled it up front? What for? Was it for the firearm, or was it for towels to stop the bleeding? The witness testified that he did not clearly see the GUN, but heard and saw flashbangs. What is interesting and odd is that when asked who shot Megan or pulled the trigger, he kept answering the girl and saying first was the girl, then the little guy came around, and then all were struggling with each other. He also mentioned the girls were fighting each other, kicking each other. He detailed how at one point he saw them go to Megan in the driveway, but they all went back into the car together and fled the scene until the cops, caught up with them. Megan is the only one who claims he said, "Dance, bitch, dance," and then pulled the trigger. Meghan also in the media says the fight was because she wanted to go home and they did not. Now, originally, there's some stories that she was gung-ho about staying at the party with Tory. But then that whole mix-up of shit happened. In my mainstream research, the details were completely different from what things were told. They don't talk about what started the fight back at Kylie Jenner's house. They don't question Meghan's blood running down Kelsey's legs. Some evidence found left behind was a broken acrylic nail belonging to Kelsey and a gold chain and its pendant separated, detached apart from each other, also belonging to Kelsey. So it's almost like she definitely was involved in a struggle. The firearm was unregistered and no one took ownership. It was found on the floor of the SUV besides a Louis Vuitton purse. Now, did it come out of the LV bag? Was it in there originally? Was it Kelsey's? Did Tory give it to her for protection? Was it Tory's? Where the fuck did it come from? It is possible Kels was pissed, fed up, or jealous that Meghan had backstabbed her. And maybe she grabbed the GUN and shot at her. Then Tory fought to get the GUN away and it accidentally fired. Who knows? I don't know. What the fuck happened? I report about Kelsey because the witnesses' remarks bouncing around about her kept insisting the girl shot first and then they fought. Apparently, when they had got back into the vehicle, Kelsey panicked and texted someone saying Tory shot Meg. What a mess. Notice how Tory's statements, he accepts responsibility for sexual relations and certain actions, but remained pretty quiet about the shooting part. When he was in jail, he violated a contact order, spoke to Meg telling her he was sorry and kept saying he was too drunk, but nothing admitted to shooting. Could it all have been an accident in the end? Regardless of pulling the trigger or not, the sentencing time adds up due to, unregistered, unlicensed firearm in possession, and I guess as a felon, and then used with negligence because it resulted in an injury. So technically, he is still guilty by all that. In my opinion, as Tory and Meghan being famous, they can afford it to have a good bodyguard or security team. Let them be armed and carrying. And being highly under the influence, especially with alcohol, does not mix well with firearms. Dangerous and irresponsible. During this investigation, Kelsey and Meghan's exchanges were public on Twitter, and Kelsey Nicole wrote a diss track. She was upset Meghan was not standing up for her, but Meghan did a live doing where she was claiming flat out it was Tory. Now, please understand, this was my first time I read these lyrics. I wasn't trying to actually rap or sing them, okay? So it sounds really bad, but yeah.
Bustin' Bannock. Who I'm taking shots at, bitch. I'm busting you. Get money. I'm talking to that same bitch that crashed that boat on 42. Get money. It's a shame we're here today. Truth be told, it's because of you. Couldn't control your little feelings. Look what dick is costing you. It was all good, yeah, about a week ago. Shout out Bobby Shmurda, but this bitch is really tweaking, bro. If I was the one with the gun, you would have heard about a murder. Rip. Oh my god. Said her back was turned, but that girl know who really hurt her. I ain't hurt you, bitch. Never been a jealous friend. And the people really know it. If you would have kept it silent, then I would have been told it. See, I really thought I knew you thought you would keep it G. If you gonna talk gangsta, bitch, I'm really from the street. Imagine lying to the DA saying I took some hush money.
Say what?
Put a muzzle on your friends, y'all acting like some crash dummies. Skirt.
Ta-da.
Got my chain snatched, damn, here you go lying. To be an A-list celeb, you doing too much trying. Where I get this money from, bitch, you knew I was a hustler. Way she did 1501, should've knew I couldn't trust her. Protect black women, huh? But you sending threats to me. Damn, I thought you was solid, now the joke's on me. Damn, I ain't wanna have to do this, but you steady shooting shots. Burp, burp. Dee said if I spoke that a sex tape could drop. It was never supposed to be against each other, this what y'all made it. I'ma still live it up, yeah, I know y'all really hate it. Sucking dick behind my back, who really on their knees? You on overachiever, all you do is succeed. Claiming you a pimp, huh? But you sipping on your mackin'. Are you lying to your label? Do they really know what happened?
Bruh.
Who shot ya? 'Cause you know it wasn't me. I was 10 toes down whenever you had beef. It's a goddamn shame. All you had to do was clear up your best friend's name. All you had to do was keep it real and stay the same.
What?
But you switched up on me for the money and the fame. Who shot you?
What?
Yeah, so well, Tory had released an album where he sneaked in some messages about the whole thing. And Megan recently released Plan B. I do think Kylie should have been doing some talking or providing security footage outside her home as the arguing supposedly began there. What do you think really happened that early morning after the pool party? Do you think Kelsey should be or should have been a suspect?
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I will see you in a new video soon. I'm Leenda, and that's For the Record, Your Honor.